Get you through my morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Hazy on Nova.
Let's talk about one of our girls, and that is Lizzo.
Girl, I'm about to have a panic attack. I did the work. It didn't work.
Yes.
Yeah. So every now and then, producer Zoe gets super fired up
Oh my God.
about certain issues.
And it's like hide.
Yeah. Like yesterday in the meeting, I had to pin her down and sit on her like a crocodile and just sit her down and go, calm down, mate.
Yeah, Joe's did the death roll.
Yeah.
Took her under the water, death roll, spun her around a few times.
Yeah.
Tried to knock some sense into her.
And you know what? My anger prevailed through the death roll because I tell you what, girl, I'm about to have a panic attack.
Yeah, what's
at
happened?
Lizzo's Antics this week. Okay. We know she makes epic music. We do.
Yeah.
We love it.
No one's disputing that.
No one is disputing her music. Her character has come into question this week. She made a post on Instagram that said, I'm getting tired of putting up with being dragged by everyone in my life and on the internet. All I want is to make music and make people happy and help the world and blah, 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 blah. My character being picked apart by people who don't know me and disrespecting my name. I didn't sign up for this. I quit. Peace sign.
Yeah,
Right? So she's hit us with that on...
And did she say it like that? Or did she
It's exactly when that was a written statement. That's how I interpret it. And she wrote that 5 days ago, and I immediately went, my spidey senses are tingling. Something's not going on here.
Yeah.
So I had an extremely brief look, and it wasn't hard to see that this was a publicity stunt because 2 days later she was dropping a swimwear line. And all the Lizzo fans don't come for me because they're all in the comments like, no, girl, you do you look after your mental health, blah, blah. This was a PR stunt, and I was proven bloody right.
But didn't she get in trouble with some of her dance?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She got sued for being a bit of a nasty boss.
Bit of a dirty bird.
Oh, right.
Well, she dragged them along to a strip club in Amsterdam, I do believe.
She did, and she body shamed a lot of her dancers.
Yeah.
Really?
Which goes against everything she stands for. So it was very interesting. But anyway, 2 days later, after I've raged about this to every single person in my life, she's posted this on Instagram.
When I say I quit, I mean I quit giving any negative energy attention. What I'm not going to quit is the joy of my life, which is making music, which is connecting to people. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep being me.
Oh, come
Cannon,
on.
honestly, sorry, I'm trying not to get too fired up, but
Okay.
no, internet, you're wrong. You interpreted my message about quitting the industry as actually quitting the industry. What I meant is I'm quitting your bad vibes.
This is giving real Snoop Dogg giving
I
up
was
smoke
about
vibes.
to say that. When Snoop Dogg did this,
I have an announcement. I'm giving up smoke.
and everyone's like, well, that's
Whoa.
crazy. But then a lot of people are like, well, congratulations, Snoop. You've smoked
probably-
far too much of the green. So maybe this is good for your health. And then it's like, no, it's a publicity stunt for a bloody barbecue or something.
Yeah, it was a smoke-free barbie.
Smoke-free barbecue. And I was like, it's just...
But so you forgive him for that because it's kind of funny. Whereas Lizzo is
Yeah.
like, I quit music. Actually, I
And
don't.
you cannot tell me that wasn't a publicity stunt for her swimwear line. And all her little fans are in the comments going, oh, no, it's not related. You guys understand she would have had brand deals she had to follow through with after her announcement, right? Like, you understand that. No, you understand Lizzo's played you all. You've been played.
Yeah.
I feel the
There you go.
need to death roll you again.
I feel the need to be death rolled. I'm hot and sweaty right now.
And the worst thing as well, I tried to play that prank as well. We both, Jodie and I, did this one time. We're like, guess what, guys? That's it. We're quitting the show.
Yeah.
Overwhelming response was like, good.
Yeah.
You're like, it's just a joke. Oh, that's a shame.
Here's what you're waking up to, Adelaide.
In the news today.
Breaking news.
What's in the news today?
Your post-snooze news.
What is in the news today, Abby, in the newsroom? What you
Well,
got?
there's not much going on in Adelaide this weekend.
quiet.
Not much at all. It's pretty quiet. If you love footy, even if you don't, there is so much on over the next 4 days. Obviously, Gather Round kicks off tonight. We've got Adelaide playing Melbourne at Adelaide Oval. So all 9 games will be played here for those who don't know what Gather Round is. They'll be across Adelaide Oval, Norwood Oval and Mount Barker Oval. But there is just so much on. I'm putting together a guide for us to chuck up on our Nova social pages. The Footy Festival is back, so that is located at Elder Park. There's things like free activities, entertainment. There's the long zip line that goes over the River Torrens.
Yeah. That's
Licensed bars and food trucks as well. So if you're going to the footy tonight, you can head in a little bit earlier and see that. Rundle Mall's getting involved with activations and entertainment. You've got Christian Petrarca. Christian Petrarca. He's at he's at the Adelaide Central Market tomorrow. He's doing a live cooking demonstration. The Norwood Food and Wine Festival's back this weekend as well. There is just so much. Also the trainings, there's open trainings and SANFL clinics too. So yeah, it's just all happening.
Yeah.
Get involved. Even if you don't like footy, there's something on. for you to go and be involved in.
Yeah.
This is the place to be. And
It
correct me
is.
if I'm wrong, if anyone knows the answer to this, but pretty much every game is sold out, bar the last game of the round, which in most states, even in Melbourne, wouldn't sell out. 4:40 on a Sunday, which I
Yeah.
think is Collingwood and Hawthorn.
Yeah.
But they still think that's probably going to sell out. This is going to eclipse everything that happened last year.
Well, there'll be Jet and Baker Boy playing after the Sunday game as well. They're doing a concert. So if you want to head along to that, I would be grabbing a ticket.
And just as a side note, Christian Petrarca. Yes. Follow him on Instagram. He does these little meal prep things.
Yeah.
They're so good.
He's got some good recipes on his socials. Also, quickly as well, a big, some world news, I guess. Adelaide Oval is going to be accepting cryptocurrency as payment. So in some of the southern kiosk stands, you'll be able to pay with your crypto account,
Wow.
Right.
which is a world first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that is so over my head.
So beyond.
I'm
If it,
still trying to pay with checks. A lot of these things.
I still have a physical card and people look at me like there's something wrong with me, but I don't like using my phone.
Yeah, right. 13 24 10. If anyone can explain cryptocurrency to any of us, give us a call,
Oh,
please.
jeez. Good luck, though.
Yeah.
Because we're not very intelligent.
Speak for yourself over there. So speaking of Gather Round, I went to an event last night. It was the official AFL launch of Gather Round. Our Premier spoke, did a rousing speech, and he mentioned in that, he said, guys, we've got it locked in for the next 3 years. Keen to make a permanent deal.
Yeah. And then everyone just, all eyes went to Andrew Dillon.
Yeah. And Andrew Dillon was just having his, entree.
He was
just
like,
putting
what?
his head down. Going,
Have I got something in my face?
Have I got rocket in my teeth?
What?
What's going on? That was a really interesting one last night. They had a surprise pop-up guest in Tina Arena.
Oh.
And she sang all her hits, but she sang them sort of like stripped back and acoustic.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as...
I love that.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it. Everything stripped back acoustic.
Yeah, but you're a muso, mate. That was pretty cool. On the way out,
You didn't like it?
No, it was good. I love Tina.
She was just trying to really strip it back.
So Jodie
She
and
was like,
Tina, a bit of beef there.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Tina do to you.
No,
Unbelievable.
Absolutely not. I think she has a phenomenal voice. I'm just saying, it was sort of, it was a little ungather roundy like, but.
Yeah. Have she got distracted because she was just trying to get up and go, I'm in chains. And in the background, you can hear her, I'm in chains.
That was Jodie in the car.
How did you know? There's an actual video of me doing that at dinner. But we did go to leave the event last night, and I looked to my right, and Eddie Maguire was walking out with his beautiful wife, Carla. And my husband, who just cannot help himself, it was a couple of beers deep, just turned around and goes, oh, g'day, Eddie. He goes, you going to catch any footy on the weekend?
Good conversation starter.
Oh, Greg Oddie. But he would have said it like this. Hey, Eddie, you going to catch any footy on the weekend?
Oh, anyways, Andrew Dillon was you haven't been there for 3 years. And you catch any footy on the weekend. We're at the Pies. You're watching Pies and Hawthorn on Friday night. It's hard to get tickets though, isn't it? And Eddie's like, whoa.
What?
Classic Greg Oddie, isn't it?
Exactly how the conversation went. Anyway, very excited for Gather Round.
There you go.
What do you got over there?
Just a quick little one on the Gather Round boxing event that happened last night at the Adelaide 36ers Arena.
Yep.
So I can't even tell you the main event and who won because it was two genuine boxers, but it was like, who cares?
Yeah.
All everyone cared about was the footballers fighting each other.
Yeah.
So Anthony Rocker absolutely floored Corey McKernan.
Right.
Dane Swan beat Dale Thomas.
Yep.
Mitch Robertson beat Kane Pettiford pretty badly as well. Mitch Robertson looks like he can actually box.
Yep.
But everyone cared about was Kane Corns v Nathan Brown.
And how did it go down?
So
Who went down?
Clearly Kane was fitter,
Yeah.
but Nathan Brown was probably a little bit better at boxing.
Okay.
So Nathan Brown won.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you had a text from your mate Kane? Or?
No, I'm not sure. He copped a couple. He might be a bit busy this morning.
That's what I'm saying. You might want to slip him a text and say, you all right, mate?
Yeah, jeez.
Just
He's
check
in. Good
in.
hands, though. He's in very, very good hands. Very
He's
fit.
got very good friends, am I right, Abby?
I'm sure he'd win the marathon, but
Maybe
it
you
looks like
should-
Nathan Brown can actually
Maybe you
box.
should text the SEN text line, seeing as you know it so well.
So well.
0427 154 166.
Text him on that. G'day, mate. You all right?
Text him messages of support through to Kane
Yes.
this morning.
Or don't. Listen to us.
Yeah, just listen to us. That's a great option. That's our post at Snooze News. We're all about positive image, health and wholesomeness on this show. We've always said that.
Yeah.
It's our logo.
Yep.
Here's a headline for you, Jodes, and I'm right behind this.
Okay.
Taking photos of your penis could be the next frontier in STI detection. You asked for it, Jodes, and I'm delivering.
I didn't.
Yes, you
I
did.
guarantee you I didn't.
You keep on texting me like, let's talk about dick pics. Well, in a way, we're ticking that box. Oh, isn't that outrageous? So the app inventor is a bloke by the name of Udara Kalarathne, and he's first come up with this idea after a friend was worried about a little bump on his doodle. So he's a consultant and a physician, and he was convinced that an app could suspect sexually transmitted infections from a photo and that it held great potential. So while this bloke said the app started was held in the US, and this is where you're like, well, who gets to see it? It's under strict controls. The chief executive of this health company, Simon Ruth, who coincidentally his nickname is the King Dirty Bird. No, it's not. I made that up. He said privacy was a huge concern for sexual health information.
So I can imagine if I was a boy and I looked down there and I went, woo, what's that?
Yeah.
And instead of Googling, because that's fraught with danger when it comes to a medical sense.
It will tell you that you will die within 35 seconds.
I know, but if you could send a picture of it to a medical professional, that would be much more preferable than to having to rock up to some sort of STD clinic, wouldn't it?
100%. Don't put your face in there.
Nah.
Just send it through to this app.
Yeah.
Don't do a full body shot.
No. Don't do a video. Hello, my name's Ben. Have a look down here.
I'm going to take you for a full tour of my body. This is my face. It's linked eventually to my penis, which is a little bit sick. Do you know what actually got me thinking though as well, Joe? It's back in the day.
What?
And with all the stupid things that I did as a youngster,
Oh, no.
not once did I ever send a picture of my junk. And even, I was so immature, but even then I was like, no, this can only get me in trouble.
No,
I can't believe I did that.
There's one rule here. Never ever send anything on your phone that you wouldn't want your mum or dad or your grandma to see.
Spot on. Or even your grandfather.
No.
Yeah. I don't want him to see that. I would like to use this app though and take some photos and send it off and just play a bit of a joke on these guys
No,
to see what sort
why?
of response that you'd get.
Yeah.
Like sending off and being like, guys, help me, I'm really, really sick. And then he responds with something like, no, that's just your little penis wearing a hat. And then a month later, well, what about this? Oh, no, that's just your doodle smoking a little cigarette. 0400 919 919.
Send us a no.
The text line is open.
No.
You know what to do.
What the fork?
What the fork?
What the fork is happening?
This is how this rolls for the uninitiated. If you haven't heard this segment before, we basically dissect those little things that drive you absolutely insane and leave you saying, what the fork?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Big time.
Yeah.
There's so many unanswered questions.
So we've
Grind your brain, doesn't it?
So we've just come off the back of a long weekend. I spent a lot of that down the south coast. So there is a walking track between Middleton and Port Elliot and a bike track as well. So it's a shared situation, Andrew Hayes.
And I'll tell you what, pedestrians and cyclists, it's a really, really tricky time to try and get them to see in the same direction, if you know what I mean.
It's a real interesting mix, isn't it? People on foot, people on bikes. My first question to you is, what is the etiquette with dinging your bell?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't
Isn't it?
Because
I don't, like, if I'm coming up behind people, I want them to know that I'm coming so I don't hit them, but I also don't want to be rude. But what I discovered over the weekend, there are people who have absolutely no problems coming up 2 metres behind you and then going ding, ding, and hitting it hard so it scares the crap out of you. But also, is that them being polite or is that them flexing?
I don't know, because I have no issue with someone doing that.
Are you a dinger?
No, I'm not a dinger though. I'll never ding someone.
Do you verbally say incoming or something like that?
No, I'm not a loser.
Passing on the left.
Incoming, passing on the right. Good day to you, sir. No, who does that?
My question to you, Jones, you've got 1,500 children, so did you have all of them and were you all across the footpath or was it just you?
I spent probably 20 out of 24 hours telling my children to keep left.
Okay.
So you're not getting in the way of other people. But my issue is also with people who walk and talk but take up the whole path, like a 4 across. No. Split yourselves into 2.
Yeah.
So you're still on the left and you've still got room for other people to pass around you. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what
I'm
you
very
mean.
conscious of it, because so when I was walking and there was a cyclist that came up behind me and she did the ding thing right up behind me, And I'd lost my mind by this point because we were 3 days in. And I was like, I literally could not be more off the path with a few expletives thrown in.
Yeah, wow.
'Cause
Well, she was just trying to be helpful.
No, she was. I don't think she was. I think it's like, I'm on a bike. Get there.
It was an
my
aggressive ding.
It was
I'm on
an
a bike.
aggressive
I'm
ding.
better than you.
13, 24, 10. Let's do this. Your off-road rage.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I had a situation where I was running and I think that I've got a little bit distracted and I've sort of gone towards the middle of the footpath and then a cyclist came past me and genuinely did the shaking of the head thing.
Yeah.
And his left hand did the whole, like an angry Italian, like, what's going on? So then I've sort of stopped and I reckon at the time I was listening to this. So I was on too, by the way. I was ready. I was like, what, mate? What? And he sort of half stopped and he was like, you're taking up the path. And I was like, I sort of half...
Because your head's so big.
Yeah, pretty much. And I half threatened violence and all that sort of thing. And then
Yeah.
he sort of toddled off. And let's not go into all the minor specific details.
Yeah. What grinds your gears off the road, Abs?
Oh, look, on brand for me, everything annoys me. No, there's two things that I can think of. My number one thing is people who stop in doorways or walkways where you're walking.
Spot on, Abs.
It drives me insane. Like they're just off in their little world looking around. And I remember someone saying, oh, we'll just tell them to move or ask them to move. No, just don't stop in a doorway.
You shouldn't have to.
Don't get off the escalator and just stop and look around in a shopping centre and go, oh, where are we going to go? Get off to the left or the right and do your talking there.
Great
Do you know
point.
what else I've noticed? A real movement against people walking on their phones and looking down. So I was very rudely doing it at the gym the other day. I 100% admit it. And a guy came and stood right in front of me and just went, excuse me, like that. And I was like, oh, you're a bit of a knob.
But were you walking on the treadmill or were you walking through the gym?
walking through the gym, through the reception bit.
Grow up.
Yeah.
Hey, should we do this?
Yeah.
What the Fork, the off-the-road rage edition, those little things that really, really trigger you.
Yeah.
There's so many there. Also, we've got a $250 Shell fuel card to give away to the best caller.
All the little angry ants out there.
All the little angry ants. Fuel the footy feeling with Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL. Before we take your calls next, let's just go to Emilio, our good friend. Emilio, good morning to you, you beautiful man.
Good morning, my beautiful people. How are you?
We're good.
Mate, you're a dinger.
Yeah, you're a dinger.
On the bike?
I am a dinger, and I just have to address this. And I am one of those losers who actually yells out, "Look, coming behind you," or to the left. But I feel like because I take both my boys, I take them on the trailer, the back ride. So I'm courteous, and I've got a lot of weight on the back of me because one of my boys is like 26 kilos and 3 years old.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
But so what I do is I just give those dings but quite far away so they can see me coming. But I find that the people that are inattentive, that aren't like they're on their phones, are the ones that I have to get a bit closer and just give a good yell.
Yeah.
So and in my experience, the people that are riding with their their gear, like the real cyclists, they're the ones that are a bit more aggressive. Whereas in the other ones are just like dads like me that are just trying to commute through and be polite about it.
Just trying to cart around a 26-kilo kid,
Just trying to live a wholesome life.
So my trailer only holds 40 kilos, and I got my 5-year-old who's 18 kilos, then I got the 3-year-old who's just on another level. I don't know where he came from.
It's just a beautiful dad trying to get his kids from A to B, thinking, did I give birth to a future Andre the Giant?
Well, this is the other thing.
It's my poor partners, but yeah.
This is the other thing, Emilio. The real professional cyclists, should they be on the shared bike / running path, or should they just be on the road?
I think they should stick to the roads, but then because I live in Mawson Lakes, there are a lot of trails back there that you can ride. So I understand that it's a good commute to go through and all that, but they're quite aggressive because they just speed through and they give it to the last minute where they give that real thing and just watch out for me. I'm a professional.
See, that's excellent. It's a very good explanation of things.
Oh, thank you, Emilio. All right, let's go to the phone. Sam, the off-road rage, what is it?
I hate it when I'm walking with my pram and people don't move out the way for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen so many frustrated mums who end up sort of half using their pram as a battering ram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, I would say a little nudge to the back of the Achilles works a treat.
It's just a little love tap.
We're with you, Sam. Well done. Thank you. Ruth, your off-road rage, what is it?
Those stupid electric scooters in the city.
Oh, yes.
So I was walking on like North Terrace, and I was like as far to the left as I could possibly be, and one of them actually banged off me as they passed.
Oh my gosh.
And I had had a stressful day in work, which probably didn't help, so the expletives came out.
Yes, just a bit of friendly
And
feedback.
they would sound so sweet with that accent.
And apparently when I get angry, it gets stronger, the accent gets stronger. So I don't know if they understood me, but the expletives came out.
I don't want to offend you because whenever I
don't
ask
say she's Scottish.
No,
She's
I'm not saying
not.
Scottish. I'm just going to say, Ruth, what part of the UK are you from?
No.
I'm not, but you're close enough.
Oh my God. Do you use the word edget when you abuse
Egypt, yes.
Irish, I've got it.
Yeah.
But the Australians don't understand what it means, so it's good. It's good when you can call them a name they don't understand.
Yeah.
Like my husband, he's Australian, so it's fine.
Yeah. And instead of the traditional F word that we use, you use the FECKING.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Feck.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ruth, my wife's Scottish and she's called me a pillock for such a long time, and I've only just discovered that it's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing, but she's probably right.
All the ladies teaming up together.
Oh, mate, you're bringing on yourself. Thanks, Ruth. Michelle, your off-road rage, what is it?
Mine was the battle off of Pram Park.
Oh,
so
wow.
I had my two children in the car.
Yeah.
Who I got out. My son was probably 15 months old. He was standing next to the car as I got the pram out.
Yeah.
And a lady came over, 3 lanes over, because I supposedly stole her park, because her newborn baby and her car deserved the pram park more than me. Because mine was able to stand.
Right. So you literally had an argument with a woman who said, my baby's younger, so I deserve the pram park more.
Meanwhile, I did have to reiterate that she'd left her newborn baby in the car on its own
Oh,
to
there
come
you
and
go.
fight with me about the pram park.
Oh, my goodness. So who won in the end, Michelle?
Well, me. I was already in the park.
There you go.
Oh,
But then once you leave, Joe, you're scared like, okay, well, I've got the park and I'm going to leave, but when I come back to my car, is there going to be a few little scratches on there?
Yeah. Let's go. One more. Alicia, good morning.
Good morning.
Your off-road rage, what is it?
I am probably the biggest rage on the planet. I'm not going to lie. I will beat and shout, flash my light at people who are going 40 in an 80 zone.
Yeah. They need that feedback. Absolutely, they need that. And then you know what the worst thing is, Alicia, when you drive past them and you realise that they're 96.
Oh, no. This is even worse now. There are young people driving. I'm 26.
Yeah.
And there are young people that cannot drive.
Yeah.
Same with old people.
Yeah.
It's either too careful, because they've got taught to be really careful, but they do it so much that they don't know to drive the speed limit anymore.
Can I play devil's advocate, though? I like people who go take it easy on the roads and go a bit slower.
Yeah, but then pull over, though.
Oh.
Pull over.
Hey, Alicia.
There's so many places to pull over, and they don't do it.
And let you
Sorry,
pass,
it gets
yeah.
me really angry.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means, Alicia? 100% the people you're talking about is Jodie Oddie.
Yeah, well, I'm not...
You're raging at Jodie Oddie on the road.
I'm very cautious.
And she deserves it.
Oh,
Just pull over. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Babes, I'd let you pass.
Drive 80. Pull over.
Go around. Go around.
Yeah.
I'm being
Alicia,
cautious.
thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Battle of the Bangers.
I think we can't stress this enough. I mean, that was all fun and games just before, but now this is dead set serious because two people have never hated each other stronger in this space.
96% of the time we get along fairly well. The other 4%, no good.
Yeah, 2% each.
Yeah.
Battle of the Bangers,
2%.
song to song.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, so the score sits at 7-4. So, needless to say, I am the Brisbane Lions and the Adelaide Crows.
Oh
I
my
need
God,
I
you're a
really-
dirty bird.
No,
Don't you refer to yourself as one of the Brisbane Lions? Which one are you?
I really, really need a win this week.
Control the cloud. Thank you very much.
Oh, stop it. You don't know that any of those allegations are true.
Well, we wouldn't do it together. Although this is a pretty outrageous little message going around, which is completely incorrect.
That is the stupidest message I've ever... and it pertains to the Brisbane Lions and what went on overseas at the end of season trip. And it is the most ridiculous message I've ever seen in my life, and yet it's still getting circulated.
You know, can I just throw this out right? Can we ask Dan Houston about it when he comes in this year in a few minutes' time? Can we just ask him about it? Let's just see what happens.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe we could ask if Port have any takeaway lessons from what's happened at the Lions.
We certainly will ask, yes, let's ask that Dan Houston when he comes in after 8 o'clock. Theme for this week's Battle of the Bangers is road trip for all our friends visiting from interstate.
Yes, so we are very excited about the weekend. And I thought, okay, road trips, weekend, him for the weekend, Coldplay, hit it, thanks.
Okay. Him for the weekend. Okay, that completely makes sense.
Yep.
Coldplay, I've got so many good songs. I just love how you've been prepping this for weeks and weeks. And you're like, guys, when we do gather rounds and we do road trip theme, play this little bad boy.
Yep.
Preparation's a key.
I mean, okay, I delivered it at 6:10 this morning. I'm happy to concede. I should have done it yesterday and I did not. Anyway, we're not all perfect.
But
what
that's
do you got?
because you had about 4 or 5 songs that you were juggling with.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And the desperation of my need to win this week made me hesitate. Go on then.
All right, so you've got Coldplay
Yep.
versus a little banger from the Temper Trap. A little bit of sweet disposition for you, Joes. Oops, what's going on there? Your hips are shaking just a little bit.
No, I'm trying to work out the connection between road trips.
Because this is an absolute banger to play on a road trip. Don't try and sit there and say it needs to be very, very much themed to what exactly is going on, because you are the absolute queen of not making sense with your particular songs.
Well, I've got weekend in the title of my song.
Gather Round starts tonight.
Sweet disposition.
But Gather Round starts tonight. It's not the weekend.
Okay, you're being ridiculous now. I've had enough of this conversation.
There you go. Someone's losing badly. Battle of the Bangers. The Temper Trap versus Coldplay.
Make sure you jump on the Jodie and Hazy Instagram page and cast your vote for what you would like to hear to kick off your Friday, thus the weekend.
But Gather Round starts tonight.
Hey, what about this? Divorce rings are now a thing, Andrew Hayes, gaining popularity after model Emily Ratajkowski. How'd I go?
Oh, the one that went, that pash that was caught viral with Harry Styles.
Remember she macked on with Harry?
I'm like, wow, that's worse than a couple of gawky teenagers.
Wasn't that really weird? Because it should have been the sexiest thing in the world, Harry Styles pashing on with like an absolute supermodel, but it just was gross.
Even the most glamorous, sexy people in the world can be disgustingly awkward.
Yeah, so true. Anyway, she remodeled the engagement rings that she received from her ex-husband, who's film producer Sebastian Bear McLeod. And I think she divorced him because he hyphenated his last name.
Yeah.
She remodeled them. She remodeled them into 2 brand new beautiful divorce bands. The post was incredibly popular with over 1.1 million likes.
Okay.
I mean, they were big chunky rings though.
Yeah.
That has to be said.
You just wonder. You really start to wonder with Emrata what's going on upstairs. Because everyone knows what's going on in probably every other part. She might be the most beautiful person on the planet.
Oh, yeah. It's not really my cup of tea.
You just get snippets of her and in terms of what's happening upstairs. You're like, okay.
I just am confused as to the fact that she takes her clothes off every second Instagram post. She's like, I'm just empowering women. Are you? Are you empowering women or are you making them feel shit about their bodies?
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know what to say. I'm a little bit speechless.
Anyway, let's go back to the remodelling.
You're trying to stitch me up.
No, I wasn't. Cara's not listening. It's fine. Let's go back to the rings. So I'm in the process at the moment, and I actually went through my old jewellery box the other day, because what I would like to do is take my old engagement ring from my first marriage and my old wedding ring, because there's some beautiful little diamonds, and refashion it maybe into, I didn't mean that as a whack, by the way, but I was surprised at how small my finger used to be. Anyway, we digress. I would like to refashion that into maybe a necklace for my daughter, but then I'm like, is that bad juju? Because the relationship didn't work out, but it's still her dad, you know?
So you're going to pass on to your daughter?
Yes.
Because I was about to say, I'm not sure how your current Greg would think about you fashioning some old Greg merchandise. But it's for your daughter, so it's all right.
I love how you say merchandise. It's not an old Australian cricket polo, mate.
Well, I'll tell you what. if you got hold of his baggy green, it might be worth a bit more.
There's another ping. He gets it. Houston again. Kick looks brilliant. Houston, we don't have a problem.
Please welcome to the Jody and Hazy Show, Dan Houston.
Oh, yes, there he is, the man in the flesh. Dan Houston, welcome.
Good morning, good morning.
What about the vibe of Gather Round? You can't not get excited.
Yeah, it's so nice. Walking the streets, there's people everywhere wearing all different colours, not just the Power or the Crows. And I was at Fox Footy last night in Adelaide Oval, and the setup looks amazing by the river and out the back near the members. So I can't wait for it.
It's pretty cool that the attention of Australia in a footy sense is all on Adelaide at the moment. And we do it so well.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I can't wait for people to come over and see South Australia and how good it is, and up in the hills or where they go down to the beach and just explore a little bit. It'll be amazing to see that many people around and exploring our state.
So we kind of do and we don't. Like, we kind of don't want people to know how good it is here because we're such a well-kept secret and we have the best lifestyle in Australia.
But we want people to pour money into the state.
Yeah.
So there's a way that they don't come, but they give us money anyway?
Yeah, give us money, just don't live here.
Hey, Dan, I feel like you owe Port Adelaide supporters a bit of a win, if that makes sense. How could you dominate a game like that against the Demons and come up short?
Yeah,
it's outrageous.
It felt a little bit like that. We definitely felt like we should have won, and Melbourne were, really executed their game plan really well in the later stages of the fourth quarter, and we felt like we definitely should have won. But it's easy to say that. We need to turn some actions into results, and we'll hope to do that this weekend, and hopefully we can dominate the stat sheet and the scoreboard.
No Jason Horne-Francis, who, I'm not sure if you know this, Dan, but a massive Nova 919 fan.
Yeah, massive fan.
Is the Hornet?
Yeah, he is.
Fantastic.
He is.
We're on a mission to get him to call in.
Yeah, hopefully.
Look, it hasn't happened yet, but 13 24 10 is the number, Jason, and we will drop everything just to speak to you.
We've told him we don't care if we're talking to the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
See you, Anthony Albanese, because Jason Horne-Francis is calling through. Can you put in a good word for us?
Yeah, 100%. Just make sure you ask him a few questions about darts. He's really into darts at the moment,
Is he?
I'm sure that could be a nice topic of conversation.
And that is the sport. We're not talking about him smoking cigarettes.
No, yes, we're talking about the sport, yes.
What is it about darts that's fascinating?
It's just one of those
Jason?
fads that goes around the club.
Right.
Golf, F1, now it's darts.
Wow.
And it'll be gone soon. No doubt about that.
What will be next, do you think? Pokemon?
Oh, yeah, something like Pokemon Go might be back.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Right,
There you go.
You guys, and people say that football isn't a full-time occupation. Honestly, shame on them.
Essendon Friday nights, and in particular up against a former teammate, Xavier Dersma. What's it like playing, you probably haven't done it very much before, but playing against former teammates, and how will you approach this one?
Yeah, it is interesting. I guess when you're on the footy field, you sort of, the players are in your area, you take a little bit of note of, and Ders will be on the wing. It might be a little bit in my area, but I'm not too sure there will be too many words said. And in the past, we've played against other players and haven't said too much. For example, Peter Adams, and
that's a tactic.
He sort of lost his cool a little bit. So I don't know what how he'll be recepted, or is that the word? Received.
That's okay.
But we'll see on the weekend, and it'll be a good game, no doubt.
Yeah, I love that you take the silent treatment in as a tactic. That's a real from the home front, because we were saying that if your partner doesn't speak to you, you're proper cooked.
Yeah.
Like they're real angry. They're angry to the point where no words will pass their lips. That's how Peter Adams must have felt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it resolves issues.
Yeah.
Silent treatment.
How do you reckon you'll go against St Kilda when you play against Riley Bonner? Because it seemed like from the outside looking in, Riley Bonner, a very popular member of the group, and now he's onto a different club, not by his choice.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting, Riley Bonner, because his situation was a bit different. He got delisted by the club, unfortunately, which you can't control. And then St Kilda picked him up, and he's very well liked at the club, and gets along well with a lot of the boys. And we know exactly what he's like. He hates a little bit of physicality, so I'm sure that could be a little bit of a tactic.
Does anyone go there with the whole, well, you weren't good enough to play here?
You can, but I think that's probably, as a mate, that's probably crosses the line, and I feel like I'm a good mate of his. But I'm sure if you weren't a mate, that would be a great tactic.
You're
Jody.
right. Silent treatment. Silent treatment.
Hey, Huso, before we let you go, the question everyone's been asking, particularly texting through on 0400 919 919, what did you guys learn from the Brisbane Lions incident?
What were the learnings from that this
What are the
week?
key takeouts, and what are the learnings from the Brisbane Lions situation?
Well, I don't know what's true and what's not, but one thing I've always said is nothing good comes out of iCloud.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say Vegas, but yeah, iCloud.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Whether that's true or not, but I've always felt like, you know, what have you heard of a positive to come out of like an iCloud?
No.
Other than being able to put your get a new phone and then be able to transfer everything straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I was giving someone a
method.
Yeah, giving someone a massive compliment, and it got leaked via the cloud. That's never happened before, ever, has it?
It's not good. And no, but to be fair, it is true. Unless you're in the room and you've actually seen people doing stuff, then how do we know what's true and what's not?
Spot on. There you go, Jess. Have you been to Vegas, by the way?
I've never been to Vegas. I actually haven't been to America.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprised me. I feel
Well,
like,
yeah.
You got plans to go?
I wouldn't mind going, yeah. It'd be good.
One stage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just leave your iPad at home.
Turn my cloud off.
Just beware of the cloud. Dan Houston, thank you so much for coming in. All the best this weekend for Gather Round.
Thanks, JD and Hazy.
We're going back in time. Hazy's on this Daisy.
The Thursday edition of Some Knowledge, just to set you up beautifully for the week that is Gather Round. Oh, I mean, turn up to the footy with some of these facts and your friends will be like, wow, you're a genius. For example, 4th of April in 1986, Brumby's Bakeries, the franchise, was registered in Australia.
Nom nom.
Good on you, Brumby's. They do a fantastic muffin too, by the way. Ooh. I'll tell you what, if I had $1 for every muffin that I'd consumed, apple and cinnamon in particular from Brumby's,
Yep.
geez, I tell you what, I'd have a lot of spare cash.
Do you think that when you're eating a muffin, you're eating healthily?
Yeah. Fruit goodness.
Incorrect, mate.
I wouldn't dare have a slice of cake for breakfast, but I'd certainly have a muffin. Yeah, exactly the same thing. 1980, Post-it note was created. The idea was dreamed up by scientist Art Fry at a 3M company in Minnesota. Post-it is such a simple idea, huge though. Changed everything. Changed the way that we live our lives. In 2008, Beyonce, who was 26, married rapper Jay-Z, who was 38. I didn't know there was such an age discrepancy.
Oh, that's got real sort of, I don't know, sort of daddy taking care of you vibes, doesn't it?
I tell you what as well, with all the P. Diddy stuff, there is a pretty solid wormhole to go down when it comes to Jay-Z as well. All the conspiracy theorists are absolutely up and about.
You went down, you definitely explored this further this week, and you're a worse man for it.
Yes, I am. I'm very, very offended. The number one song on April the 4th in 2014, She Looks So Perfect by 5 Sauce. 5 Sauce representing us beautifully over in America.